Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. We are live today. What time is it today? It's 11:30 to 12. I am going to have a second awesome show and tell with Melissa. I am so happy to present to you the lifetime members, the members of my Coffee Connect. And I'm so excited. She is awesome, awesome, and she's going to help the word to do this less stress company. I would love to introduce to you my awesome and good friend, Carlee Myers.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, and I asked my members what's their word for 2021. Her word, Carlee Myers' word is divine wisdom. Tell us about that.
Oh my goodness. Divine wisdom. So for me, the reason I chose and Melissa, full disclosure, Melissa asked for one word and I said, I'm gonna hyphenate this one and
Yeah.
I'm gonna say divine wisdom. But it really came for me it's really for me about being open to receiving wisdom from something greater than myself. Whether it's universe or something divine or God or whatever, but just being open to that, and then also being willing to share it, to share whatever divine wisdom that if I'm lucky enough to receive. So that's really what that means for me, and to be able to live in a place of really groundedness, like a sense of calm and just walking the talk. Like that's really what it's about
Yes.
for me.
Actually, that is so you because, it really, I always say you will never get tired of this. I always say you walk and talk because it shows in your skin. You are all less stressed. I'm so amazed with your skin. That's why you really know how to take care of yourself. And for me, my word is believe. Believe that we can do it together if we have collaboration. So, we have a guest here today. Who is here? Good morning, Melissa and Carlee. Hi,
Hi, fun
Bangay. Thank you
guy.
so. And then we have here Trish. Good morning, Melissa and Carlee. Good morning to you too, and thank
Hey,
you for
Trish.
watching. If you have any questions with Carlee, go give us a comment. And also, tell us your experience before my Coffee Connect.
Ooh, my experience before Coffee Connect. Is there something specific in terms of my experience you'd like for me to share?
Yeah, anything you want to share before, because I want you to, to explain the difference between before and now that you are a member when you attended our
Okay.
first trip.
Yeah. So, goodness, before Coffee Connect, it was pre-pandemic for me. Life was wild. Things were busy. I was always on the move. And then the pandemic hit. In terms and so pre-pandemic, I was out networking in person constantly. Building my relationships in person, and there is definitely a time and a place for that. But Melissa came in to kind of save the day once the pandemic hit early on. Before everybody else was networking online, she was there creating space for small business owners, large business owners, everyone alike to come in and connect. And as a result of Coffee Connect, I've made some of my best business owner friends, which is really amazing. We've got a core group every Tuesday morning, or I
Yes.
think now it's the first Tuesday mornings of the month.
Yes.
But Stephen Green, Bungai, Trish, Anya, like all of these
Yes.
amazing people I've been able to just build relationships with, and I can truly call them my friends. And I think that's what Coffee Connect has brought for me, is just more quality friendships.
That's good. That's awesome. How about when you're now, the first week of our meeting as a member? What do you think about it?
My first meeting. So I found out about Coffee Connect through Haytel. She had posted on Facebook, and I was like, "What is this?" Let
Yes.
me see.
Yes.
Um, and I'm not even sure that she knows that, but I joined the first meeting, and I loved that, one, everybody had the chance to share. Everyone has the chance to step forward and be heard. And also, everyone has the chance to be vulnerable and ask for something. And
That
I
is
think that's
awesome.
really, really wonderful. Whether it's like I'm looking for one new person to buy a bottle of wine, for Anya, or, I'm looking for, a sponsor. I'm looking for support because I don't know what to do about X, Y, and Z. We've had many days where some people
Yeah.
have come in and had a bad day, and we've just been there for each other. And so, uh, my first experience with Coffee Connect was really about like, wow, everybody has this floor. Everyone has the stage. Everyone's equal here. And that
Yes.
feels really good.
Yes, and I'm so happy with the members that are joining in. It's like everybody is very welcome to help each other. Collaboration is like it's really we are growing an awesome tribe. And by the way, I cannot say. I was about to say how many members we have, but I'm not sharing it. But it's like we're gonna go. We're getting close to 75, and it's official that we are now international because I got from the Philippines. Oh my goodness. I have member from the Philippines and I'm going to grow that too. But because I'm here in Pennsylvania, my focus now is Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, of course California. Um but what we have members there, we have California, we have Florida, we have mostly Pennsylvania and New Jersey. And what I'm trying to build, because I have a plan B, because everybody's like asking me like, well, by the way, my offer to you guys is all virtual, but if we are going to see each other, I have the plan B, because my original plan is like my original business is a walk and talk, and I was approved to do at King of Prussia Town Center.
I
So
remember.
we still can do that. It's a 1 hour walk and talk. You still have a 5 minutes business presentation of yourself. And then the best thing is, the way we do a walk and talk is like two people walking together, and every 10 minutes you change lanes, talk to another people, which is freaking awesome. So it's really, and the reason why I said this, because if I have the member for New Jersey, California, Florida, I need to build at least 20 people there, so they can have their own walking if we are going to do that. But
You're going to take
definitely,
over.
yes, we'll take over something like that. And I am so happy with the members that they can help me out. Like these are the members collaboration, and the members are very. I'm overwhelmed with the people that telling me that we are, at least with you, I get to know you more of your business, that we can move your the businesses that you have, like how do you call that, I forget how you call the customer that you want a signature. You need to have a signature
Oh,
or something
yeah.
like that.
So one of my goals of 2021 is to enroll, six, that's it, six female leaders who are exhausted and overworked, overwhelmed, to help them find that sense of peace and freedom that they desire.
Yeah, I am aiming for one of them. I am aiming, so I'm excited with our January 12th appointment. I'm excited to know more about that, because with what I do, I really needed that. I told you that, oh my God, you gotta be ready for our conversations tomorrow. Okay. Trish is something, say something. Hold on. Carly, in general, what do you recommend on how to stress less for 2021? Good question.
Mm. Yeah, so what I would say is especially this past week, in the United States at the very least, we've had an interesting week.
Yes.
Wednesday, with the Capitol and everything that was happening there. I think, just because the clock struck midnight, January 1st, that, oh, like our problems are not going to go away, right? What we had at December 31st, 2020, we're carrying into 2021. And, with that, I think we're still in a time, with the pandemic continuing, where there's a lot that's outside of our control.
Mm-hmm.
There really is. The pandemic, we're working on getting the vaccine out to the masses, but we're still in it. Whatever was going on in our personal lives, we got the presidential election happening, the transition of power hopefully happening soon. And so, at least for the beginning of 2021, I would really recommend that we start practicing um, how to let go of things, the worries around things that are completely outside of our control. So I give those big picture examples because those are things that I've been having conversations with people about, or I've been hearing on social media or watching, things on social media about how we're worried about these things. And
Yes.
so when we're worried about things that are outside of our control, one thing that I would recommend is it's the very first step in my signature system called the Stress Less method is to deepen our spiritual understanding. That is the
Mm-hmm.
foundation. Um, and I share that because, these things are big. These are not something we can just be like, oh, yeah, let's just throw, don't worry about that, right? This is a big deal.
Yes, it is.
And so when we deepen our spiritual understanding, when we allow ourselves to believe in a higher self or the universe or God or just the greater good of just people in general, right? It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have to be so traditional. When we allow ourselves that, we then have something or somebody to hand those worries off to. We can say, I am so worried about the transition of power on January 20th, but there's nothing I can do about it. I'm going to hand this off. I'm going to hand this off to the universe. I'm going to hand this off to, I'm going to share this in with the other members of Coffee Connect and hand this off to them. And what that does is that allows you space to focus on what's within your control. It actually creates more autonomy and more personal power in your life so
Mm-hmm.
that you can focus on and say, okay, well, I'm worried about, what's going to happen in January, but what can I do? What can I do?
Mm-hmm.
And it may be something as small as, okay, well, what I can do is take care of my basic needs. I'm going to drink enough water. I'm going to, nourish my body. I'm going to call a friend.
Yeah.
Or, it may be I'm going to send an email, a letter to, my elected officials. It could be that. But, you know, it's
Yeah.
it's really about letting go of those big picture things that are not in your control so that you can hone in, step up in your strengths and focus on what is. So if 2020 hasn't taught me anything, that would be that. And Trish, that's really what I would
Yes.
recommend for you stepping into 2021.
Yeah. But you say Grand Rising. Thank you. I love that. You said Grand Rising Queens. Valerie. Yes, Valerie.
100%.
Yes. And then Trisha, I love that. Thank you.
You are so
Yes.
welcome.
Yes.
Yeah.
So tell us what is new to you and your business this 2021.
Yes. Well, so before I do that, I'm totally gonna go off script here, and I want to just address Valerie's comment about Grand Rising Queens, because
Yes.
I literally just did a teaching in my own community yesterday, and it was about how in 2020 and years before we've been trained to react. And what's interesting is if you look at the definition of the word react, it is, and I'm going to butcher it a little bit because I don't have it right in front of me, but it's from the Oxford Dictionary, and it
Mhm.
is to respond with hostility or contrary action to, I believe. So it's like against, it's going against what you're really trying to accomplish.
Mhm.
And I was talking to my clients yesterday about how what would really allow us to step forward as leaders, what would really help us step into our strengths and make the world a better place is to step out of reacting to murder hornets or the
Oh.
coronavirus or, all of that, and stepping into intentional action. So intentional being really like, I am consciously choosing this. I have an aim and really taking action on that. um, it's really about moving you forward towards your aim, towards your goal, and that is how we have Queens Rising. So I really wanted to share that because Valerie brought that up, and that, I mean, really that's how I see female leaders, all leaders, rising through these exceptional times.
Yes,
But
cheers. Cheers to us. Cheers to my Coffee Connect. Woohoo! So tell us what's new to you and your business in 2021.
yeah. So what is new? In 2020, early 2020, at like March around that time, um, April, May, I started to realize that there was this thing called the stress less method that I wanted to get out into the world. And I was like, okay, that'll come out in 2022. I'll get to it when I have time. I knew that there was this deeper calling for me. And when the pandemic hit, I was like, oh no, this needs now. Like, we need this now. Like, we talk about the pandemic, the first wave of the coronavirus. And, in April, May, I was starting to see the second wave, in my opinion, the real second wave. And the real second wave being the mental health wave, the
Mm.
side effects of the pandemic. And so I got to work and I started developing the stress less method, which is my 7-step unique system that every single one of my clients goes through to help them find true emotional freedom. And so that is what's new. Although I've always been teaching my clients the foundational principles from this system, it has been developed, it is out in the world now, and every single one of my clients goes through this system. And I'll just go through kind of the highlights to give you an idea of what it looks like. So the first step, and I mentioned that already, is deepen your spiritual understanding. We've talked about, how to let go of things that are outside of your control so that you can create space for the things that are. That's really what that first step is. Step 2 is to identify our blocks. What's keeping us from true emotional freedom? Like, really deeply, is it beyond like, oh, I'm stressed out about money, oh, beyond my partner's pissing me off, beyond really what's deep, like underneath, how have you contributed to your own suffering, and what can we do
Hmm.
about it? And so that's step 2, and we go in. Step 3 is to create the vision. What do you really want when we get past all the society stuff and what we think our parents should want for us and what our partners want, but like truly deeply for us, what do we want? And from there we go into the next step, which is, once we have that realization of our blocks, getting rid of them, removing them, choosing empowered action, choosing intentional action. Like Valerie's saying, intentional action
Yeah.
daily.
Yeah. Like you said, can you read this, Valerie? Can you read it?
Yeah. Yeah, we must. So Valerie says, yes, we must be intentional daily, walk in our purpose and calling. Rising up to our highest vibrations is required to be all we are called to be. There you go. Yeah, I'm with you, Valerie, 100%. 100%. And I would say, being intentional in our actions daily to remove those blocks. Well, first of all, to identify them, because a lot of us don't even know what they are. We don't know that we have blocks. We don't want to see them because it's hard. It's hard work.
Yes.
But,
Yes.
you know, identifying them, removing them. One of the steps in my system is to create a daily practice. And that's really talking about intention as well. And going further, I'm skipping around a little bit, but the last step is to carry hope to others struggling. It's probably one of the most powerful steps that's in the entire system. At this point, once you've worked through all 7 steps, what you're doing is you are walking the talk. You are living what you've learned. You have found real inner peace, true emotional freedom. And when crap comes up, right, when something crazy happens, you're able to see it, experience it, and be resilient. You're able to come back so much quicker rather than having it knock you down for a week, a day, a month,
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Yeah.
And
And then Valerie has read it again,
shadow work.
Carly.
Yep. Yep.
Yes, we have to
100%.
do that. Yes, we have to do the shadow work of things that are held inside. The trauma, heartaches, issues, situation things we have supposed don't want to identify.
Yep.
Mhm.
The things we have suppressed. Yeah, that is really what we're talking about. And the shadow work, 100%. That's
Yeah.
that's the stuff that's underneath the surface that we're afraid to identify. We're afraid to admit that's there, to
Yeah.
see. But that is the most powerful work that we can do.
Oh, look at that. I love your
Aw.
energy, Carly. Yes. Oh my God. You've learned a lot so much today. And what can you tell us more about like what is the ideal client for you?
Yeah, so I really specialize and love working with female leaders. So women who are in positions of leadership. So they may be a CEO, they may be a business owner, they may be a manager in an organization, but really, I love and specialize working with female leaders, um, specifically those who are overworked, exhausted,
Mhm.
maybe even overwhelmed, and they're looking, maybe they've tried meditation, maybe they've tried some yoga, exercising, all that stuff, right? But there's something more,
Yeah.
that there's something more, and those are the women that I really love to work with.
For those people who doesn't know you, what is your specialty than the others?
So, my what really sets me apart is the stress less method. And I'll make sure after the show that I drop the link to that method so you can check it out.
Yes.
It's no other coach is using it, no other mentor is using it, no other stress management expert is using it. And so I'd say that really sets me apart. Now, the thing that also really sets me apart is that while I have this structure, this is about you discovering for yourself what really works for you. I
Mm-hmm.
am not going to tell you, as many stress management experts might, that you have to meditate. I'm not going to tell you that you have to, do yoga. I'm not going to tell you you have to change your diet. Those things may work for you. And if you come to those conclusions, good. But if they don't work for you, great too. And so, that's really what can set me apart. I'm a non-traditional coach. You will hear that from my clients over and over again. Carlee's a non-traditional coach. And for
Yeah.
that, that's what you get. You get non-traditional results.
You are intentional. You are probably helping the people in inner core, not
Mm-hmm.
just it's the inner core.
We're not putting a band-aid on the issue. One of the things that I say a lot is that, you can walk into, let's say, a spa to go get a facial to help you reduce your stress. You can walk into that spa with money problems. You're going to walk out of that spa with money problems, right? You can
Yeah.
walk into that spa with boy problems, problems in your marriage. You can walk out of that spa with problems in your marriage. And so, what I really do is help you get to the root, not just put a band aid on it, not just help you cope in the moment, but really create a life that you love.
That's awesome. Oh my goodness. What are the tips that you can give people on how to handle stress?
Yeah, so I totally gave away my first tip with
Yeah.
Trish earlier, but I would say, aside from that, a really great place to start, just like a really way to ease yourself into managing stress would be doing a little bit of that creative stress reduction. So, creative stress reduction is any activity that gets you out of fight, flight, or freeze mode and gets you into a state of play or flow, right? AKA rest and digest mode.
Yeah.
So, this literally can be anything. It can be yoga, it can be meditation, but it also can be playing with your dog, gardening,
Yeah.
going on a walk, formatting an Excel spreadsheet if that's what you're into. It,
Yeah.
it really can be anything. And I share this, it can still be going to the spa. I know I just talked shit on it, but it can be doing those activities because when we're in fight, flight, or freeze mode, we cannot, excuse me, we can't see clearly.
Mm-hmm.
We are unable in many cases to be able to make sound decisions, to be able to think critically. Our critical thinking goes out the window. So that'd be
Mm-hmm.
a really great place to start. But remember, that is the first step. So once you're out of fight, flight, or freeze mode, then it's your job to step up, to step into your power, and to start to dig deep into what
Yeah.
really caused the stress to begin with.
Yeah, I was about to ask, like, how can people know they need help? How can they identify that they need help if they don't know? Of course, if they don't know what to do themselves, but what are the basic things that will trigger that they will need help? Do they need to have a problem to need your services? What are the things that you can tell people that can ask you
So,
to help you to help them?
yeah, so we have the obvious stuff, right? If you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling exhausted, if you're feeling overworked, that's a clear indicator that we may need to have a conversation, or you have some work to do at the very least. Some folks, or many folks actually, don't even know that they're experiencing stress, right? Maybe they were raised where if you cried, your parents might say, "Oh, I'll give you something to cry about," right? And so we learn to
Oh,
suppress our emotions. And
okay.
so going into adulthood, we we don't even know we're stressed because we've learned to suppress our emotions. So in that scenario, you may know you need support if you're talking about you're exhausted, if you're feeling anxious, if you're getting headaches or
Mm-hmm.
migraines consistently
Mm-hmm.
and you can't figure out why am I getting this, if you're you feel fine, and then all of a sudden you snap at a loved one, right? I don't know, they do the dishes wrong, and then it's like, what? Are you effing
Oh,
kidding me, right? So
yes.
you'll start to see, if you're tired, if you're experiencing illness over and over and over again, and there seems to be no reason, that usually means that you've got some unresolved stress that you're pushing down.
Mm. And Valerie says, this is the best kind of coach. You are authentic and transparent. This is what will help them change because they see your authenticity. That's awesome, Valerie. Thank you. And then Bongai says, mine is music. This calms and down a little. He
Yeah.
said.
So
Okay.
Bajai, that's the first step. And then once you listen to music, you get that fight, flight, or freeze response down, then you do the deep work.
That
I'm
is
with you.
awesome. Thank you. And can you please, before we end, can you please give us one good tip that help other businesses to grow their business or something? So
Oh, like a business tip.
yes,
Okay. So I would say do what works and leave the rest. Do
yes.
what works and leave the rest because,
Make it simple. Yes,
make it simple. But,
yes.
years ago, I was running around like crazy. I was doing every little marketing activity. I was, posting to Facebook, and I was networking, and I was speaking, and I was, trying to do joint venture partners, and I was trying to do Facebook ads. And, I was doing all these things, and I was stressing myself out. And really, my biggest strength was developing deep relationships.
Yes,
That's where I was getting all my clients. And
yes.
so, figuring out what works for you and where your strengths are, make it simple. Leave the rest.
Yes, yes. And yeah, me too. I'm happy that like I'm really not accepting those who's not going to be I'm not forcing everyone to be a member, but like I need some serious people that is very serious about connections and grow your business with others, because if we all help each other, we will definitely grow together. And I'm so excited with the growth that we are building right now. I'm so happy with our tribe. And thank you and welcome to my Coffee Connect, Carly. And I'm so excited to have you, and I'm looking forward to work together. I will be one of you. I will make of that this year. I will be one of your six. Do you
Oh,
you have to call us something wonderful, wonderful woman or something like
I'll come
that.
up with a catchy nickname.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What are the powerful six or something like that? So yeah,
Love it.
I am
Love it.
so excited. So thank you. Oh, Holly is here. Like love it makes it impact simple. Okay,
Hey,
it's good.
Holly.
Hello. And thank you, Valerie. Thank you, Holly. Thank you, Trish and Bongai, for watching us. For those people who missed this, you can watch this again for replay for in my YouTube. Coffee and Conversations with Melissa, or Coffee and Conversations with Melissa in Facebook. So tell us about where are they going to connect with you if they want your service.
Yeah. So, what you're going to do if you're feeling called to this alternative approach is you're going to visit stresslessco.com/apply. And what that is an application for you to complete for a complimentary stress assessment with yours truly. So during that 30-minute phone call, what we'll do is we'll get an idea of what's really causing the overwork and the exhaustion in your life, what's causing the stress in your life. I will hold energetic space for you, and I will listen deeply, and then together we will get to the root of what's causing the stress and the overwork, or what we can do to find true emotional freedom for you. And so you'll fill out that application, and then should it be a good fit, a member of my team will be in touch within 48 business hours.
Thank you so much, Carly. We are awesome. You are really awesome. And have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much. And don't go out yet, Carly. Hold on. Bye.